Have you ever picked up your phone for just 1 minute, only to realize an entire hour has disappeared? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Maybe you've promised yourself you'll start eating healthier, yet somehow you still reach for chips, candy, or fast food. Why does this keep happening? Most people think bad habits happen because they're lazy, but psychology tells a completely different story. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's simply following the rules it evolved to survive. Your brain performs thousands of tasks every single day. If it had to carefully think through every decision, it would quickly run out of mental energy. So instead, it builds shortcuts. These shortcuts are called habits. A habit is simply a behavior that becomes automatic after enough repetition. That's why you can tie your shoes, brush your teeth, or unlock your phone without even thinking about it. Imagine walking through a dense forest for the first time. You push branches aside, you step over rocks. Everything feels difficult, but if you walk the exact same path every day, eventually, a clear trail appears. Walking becomes easier. Your brain works in exactly the same way. Every repeated action strengthens a mental pathway. The more often you repeat a behavior, the stronger and faster that pathway becomes. Eventually, your brain switches to autopilot. And here's the surprising part. Your brain doesn't naturally know whether a habit is good or bad. It simply asks one question: should I remember this? If the answer is yes, the pathway grows stronger. If the answer is no, pathway slowly fades away. That's how every habit begins. But then another question appears. If habits are simply shortcuts, why do bad habits seem so much easier to build than good ones? The answer lies in how your brain responds to rewards. And that's exactly where things get interesting. Because the biggest reason we develop bad habits has nothing to do with motivation. It has everything to do with timing. Think about the last time you tried to focus on something important. Maybe you opened your laptop, started studying, or began working on a project. Everything was going well. Then suddenly, without even thinking, your hand reached for your phone. You didn't make a careful decision. Your brain simply followed a familiar pattern. One notification, one quick look, one short video, and before you know it, 20 minutes are gone. Why does this happen? Because your brain loves immediate rewards. Every enjoyable experience teaches your brain something important. Remember this: the easier the reward, the faster your brain learns the behavior. This isn't just about social media. It's the same reason people bite their nails, snack when they're bored, or procrastinate instead of starting difficult tasks. Different habits, the same psychological process. Now imagine receiving a stressful email. Immediately, you feel uncomfortable. Without realizing it, you grab your phone, not because you need it, but because your brain has learned that it provides a quick escape from stress. The same thing happens with boredom. You're waiting for a bus, standing in line, or sitting alone for just a few minutes. Almost automatically, your hand reaches for your pocket. Not because you're making a conscious choice, but because your brain expects a reward. Psychologists often describe habits as a simple loop. First comes the cue, something triggers your brain. Next comes the routine, the action you perform. Finally comes the reward, a feeling your brain wants to experience again. Every time this loop repeats, the connection becomes stronger. The brain begins to predict the reward before it even arrives. Eventually, the habit feels automatic. Here's the challenge. Bad habits usually offer rewards immediately. Comfort, entertainment, relief. Good habits often work the opposite way. They require effort first, and rewards come later. Exercise feels difficult today. Healthy eating may not seem exciting tonight. Studying doesn't produce instant results, but over weeks and months, those small actions create powerful long-term benefits. Every habit starts with one tiny decision. One scroll, one snack, one excuse, one workout, one page read. Small choices repeated over time become the patterns that shape our lives. The good news: if your brain can learn a bad habit, it can also learn a better one. The secret isn't becoming a different person. It's changing the pattern your brain repeats every day. So how do you break a bad habit? Most people think the answer is simple. Just use more willpower. But psychology suggests something different. Instead of fighting the habit every day, change the environment around it. If your phone distracts you while studying, don't leave it on your desk. Put it in another room. If unhealthy snacks are always within reach, replace them with healthier options. The easier a behavior is, the more likely you'll repeat it. The same rule works for good habits. Want to exercise in the morning? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Want to read more? Leave a book where you'll naturally see it. Small changes in your environment can make good choices feel automatic. Don't try to change everything at once. Your brain responds better to small, consistent actions than to dramatic changes. One small improvement repeated every day is far more powerful than one perfect day followed by giving up. Every time you repeat a healthier behavior, your brain begins building a stronger pathway for it. At first, it may feel slow or uncomfortable, but with repetition, the new behavior becomes easier and more natural. This process is called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to adapt and reorganize through experience. You will make mistakes. Everyone does. Missing one workout, eating one unhealthy meal, or getting distracted for a day doesn't erase your progress. What matters most is returning to the habit instead of quitting completely. Psychologists have found that consistency matters more than perfection. Progress isn't about never making mistakes. It's about continuing after you make one. A single setback doesn't define your future. The next choice still matters. Imagine where small daily actions could lead after 6 months, or even a year. Tiny improvements, repeated consistently, can shape your health, your confidence, your relationships, and the way you spend your time. Real change often looks small in the moment, significant over time. Your habits are like the roots of a tree. At first, they grow quietly beneath the surface. You can't always see the progress, but over time, those roots become strong enough to support everything above them. The same is true for the habits you repeat each day. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I just don't have enough discipline," remember this: your brain isn't your enemy. It's a learning machine. It simply repeats what you practice most often. The question isn't whether you can change. You can. The real question is, what small habit will you practice today? Because today's small action could become tomorrow's automatic behavior. Your future isn't built by one big decision. It's built by hundreds of small choices, repeated over time. So start with one habit, keep showing up, and let your brain do what it does best. Learn, adapt, and grow. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. What's one bad habit you're working to change? And if you'd like to explore more fascinating psychology topics, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.